Well, hey there, Pajama Grandma, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom. Slightly different format, well, similar format, slightly different platform today. One thing about having your own business, stuff comes up all the time. I have been using Facebook Live to create my videos, the content for this course so far, and then I upload those, or download those videos to my computer, then upload them to YouTube, then share them through my members area in ClickFunnels. Well, today I got a little snafu. I'm in Facebook jail! I know. I can't believe it. It's just a side drama that has nothing to do with life or business, or my life or business, but someone else's, that they decided that to get at another person, they would go through me. And in order to do that, they got my Facebook account shut down for 3 days and got me put in Facebook jail, which I was super upset this morning. I'm not going to pretend I wasn't, but now I'm kind of laughing about it because I'm like, guess what? There's always a way to get what we need to get done. And I've learned that lesson really, really well doing the thing that we're going to talk about today. Part of the opportunity switch is learning to switch around the way we do things. And normally, and I'm guilty of doing this, the first time I got involved with ClickFunnels and stuff, I spent several months creating a course, and I think I might have shared this, on stress. And I went through and created this awesome course on stress and this 60-day challenge and all these things that I thought people that were like me, super stressed out when I first began the program, not because of the program, but because of my previous life, I thought that, of course, everybody wants a program on stress. And what I realized when I was done with the whole program and went to sell it, nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to be reminded of their stress, even though the program and the purpose of the program was to eliminate your stress by teaching you different things that you could do every single day really easily to kill your stress. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wants to think about their stress. They just want it to disappear. They want a magic pill for their stress so that it would just disappear. And we all know better, right? But once I got the Expert Secrets book and read it, I learned all about an ask campaign. This incredible idea of actually asking people what they want, not assuming what they want. Have you ever gotten in an argument with somebody because you said something and you thought it was a compliment and they took it as an insult? Guilty. I mean, that kind of thing happens all the time with our communication when we're dealing with people face to face. Well, when you're dealing with people through the internet where you're not seeing each other, it's even more important that we research and really find out what they want, not guess and think we know what they want. And we do that with a thing called an ask campaign, which we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. But first we're going through part 2, I'm calling this part 2 of the opportunity switch. We're going to go through, giving people what they want. We're going to talk about that in a minute. The ask campaign itself, how to do it on the computer, and then we're going to stop there. I'm going to actually break this into 5 parts. For number 1, because I know how important it is, I'm going to show you a couple examples from my experience of why this is so critical to your success. And then I think it's kind of a big deal. Normally, when I learned it, I was exposed to a detailed Facebook training on how to get and run Facebook ads for your ask campaign. But I found a better way, and I'm going to share it with you because it doesn't cost you anything except a little bit of time, and I think it's a much more powerful, accurate strategy than running ads to your ask campaign. Then we're going to talk about how do you turn what you find out in your ask campaign into the outline for your masterclass. Then how do you use that outline and the information that you got from this same ask campaign to create ads and promotions so that when you're ready to run traffic to your webinar, boom, you already know exactly what words to use, what phrases to use, what to say, what hooks to use to really get your ideal clients and your ideal customers' attention. And then we're going to talk about how to deliver your free masterclass, different ways you can do that quickly and easily, because we're going to deliver it as a quick free class first so that we can really get down deep into what it is that people really want. Not what they need. I know we know what they need because we've been through it, because we're the experts, but we have to take what we know they need and wrap it in the package of what they want. So we have to make sure we're giving them what they want, and along with that, we'll give them what they need to be successful. Because what people want and what they need, I guess we can jump back to that, isn't necessarily the same thing, right? We buy things because we want them, and then we justify them with logic. We buy things based on emotion, and thinking that we need it, but really we don't need very much of what we pick up in our lives. Most of it is all wants. There's a few things we need, but we are way beyond the meeting of our basic needs. So the fastest way, and Frank Kern and Ed Dale taught this for a long time, and Russell Brunson picked it up and shares it. He actually shares on page 75 a cute little graphic of it. You know, the fastest way to money and the simplest way to success is to find a hot market, a hungry crowd, a really passionate group of people. I mean, think golfers, think knitters, and that's really specific niches. Think internet marketers. Internet marketers buy all kinds of stuff from each other, right? Think any specific niche that's really got a super loyal fan base. I mean, Apple. Apple users are diehard Apple users. And then once you find that hot market, the one that you want to serve, the one that is your ideal market to serve, then you're going to give them what they want. How do you know what they want? You're going to ask them, and then you're just going to give it to them, right? So you find a hot market, you ask them what they want, and then you give them that. Boom. That's how the e-com guys that are blowing it up are doing it. They watch, they look and see what they pick a hot market or a niche. So take, for example, Trey Llewellyn. He is all about working with the survivalists and gun enthusiasts and stuff, and that is a very tight, easy to identify, hot buying market. And then he finds out what they want, and he sells that to them. And he is the most successful. I think he's made the most money, the fastest in the funnels, in all the different funnels. He's just had crazy successful funnels in the ClickFunnels community. But it's not necessarily about that. We're just talking about being experts. And I don't know if any of us are in e-com right now. I am personally not in e-commerce, but it's fascinating to watch. So, Ask Campaign. What is it and how the heck do you do it? Well, you can do it several different ways. You want to set up a really simple post. If you have a Facebook following or a Facebook page, I would do it first on your Facebook page. But on page 76, it shows the Ask Campaign template, or what you're going to set up for your, and this, a couple things I'm going to say here. The closer you follow this and the simpler you keep it, the better. The more specific your question, yet general, the better. And what I found from personal experience, I've run my Ask Campaign for chronic pain at least 5 or 6 times now. And it wasn't until I changed one thing that got me this kind of results. Can you see how tiny that type is? This is people that responded to my Ask Campaign last. And that's because I asked my question in the right place. I went to where my hot market, where my ideal customers hang out, and I asked it in those Facebook groups. I asked my question in those Facebook groups, and that made all the difference. Before, I was asking it on my Facebook page, and nobody cared. Even if people on my Facebook page have chronic pain, they're not going to admit it, and they're not going to say that they have a challenge with it on my Facebook page. Because most people on my Facebook page are successful business people. And successful business people don't want to admit in front of other successful business people that they have challenges in any area of their life or business. Really? No. It just makes me laugh. I mean, if you've been in business any amount of time or in any type business, you know how interesting and challenging it can be. Like my obstacles today. You get a little upset, then you figure it out. You get a little upset, and then you figure it out. And you get to the point where you don't even get upset anymore. You just laugh at it, and you're like, okay, well, what's that trying to show me? It's showing me that I need to find another way to do this. Boom, figure it out. It's showing me that I need a different supplier. It's showing me that I need a different VA. It's showing me that I need to change my copy. Whatever. You just deal with it and move on. So the format we're going to use is we're going to say that we're going to have a free live workshop. Now, if you're not going to do a free live workshop, don't put free live workshop on it. You know, if you're going to just give them access to the data or the report, you know, you can do whatever you want to bribe them to give their answer. So then you're going to use your headline that we created yesterday or the day before, the how-to without statement. So free live workshop, and you can look in your book and see what I'm talking about. And I'll put it in a worksheet too. How to blank without blank, exclamation point. What's your #1 question about blank? And then you just leave a spot for them to put their answer. Now, if you do this on a Facebook post, it's even easier. You can just say, what's your biggest question about chronic pain? What's your biggest question about killing chronic pain? I actually asked, the one that got all the answers finally was, what's your biggest challenge with chronic pain or dealing with chronic pain? Boom. That was golden. I couldn't keep up with the responses. I like to like each response, and I couldn't keep up with them. It was awesome. And all those responses were from a day and a half. I stopped watching it after a day and a half because it got too overwhelming. So that's it. That's the format. And you can go ahead and you can write a little note with it. Like if you're doing it on a web page, you can do it. You could do a funnel page for it if you've got ClickFunnels. But then you have to figure out how are you going to get people to that funnel. So what I like to do is I like to just ask on my personal Facebook page, my LinkedIn page, and then if you're in any groups that are, remember I talked about following and getting involved in groups, so that you can do things like ask your Ask campaign in there. Now you want to make sure that it's not against the rules to say that you're going to be offering a free workshop if people answer, or you don't want to put any links in there. Most groups don't want you to put links to your stuff in there. Groups are owned and built by individuals or groups of people with common interests, and they work really hard to build their groups. So we always want to be respectful of that. You don't just haul into a group and start posting your stuff, and unless that's what the group is designed for. But most groups on Facebook are not. Most groups on LinkedIn are not for you to just go scam and spam your stuff out there. And a lot of people will think of this Ask campaign as spammy. If you were to put this exactly like it's shown on page 76 as a post on groups, on Facebook pages or on LinkedIn groups, I think people would think it's spam and it would probably get you banned. So don't do that. Write out, hey, I'm thinking about, and here's a really powerful way of wording it. I'm thinking about creating a workshop or a blueprint or a tip sheet or a cheat sheet or whatever is appropriate for your market. I'm thinking of creating whatever the name of the thing is that you would give away to people, and I want to make sure I don't leave anything out. Could you please tell me your biggest challenge with blank, fill in the blank, whatever your topic is, chronic pain, real estate, finding customers for my business, being a natural mom. And I'm not sure that's got to be narrowed down a little bit, but you get the idea. So change the way you present the information based on the platform that you're sharing it in or presenting it in. Now, our objective, and some people think they freak out when they hear this. Our objective, it isn't to get 10,000 followers or people liking or commenting. It isn't to get 1,000 even. All we want is 100 respondents. We want 100 people to answer the question for us. And I will tell you, when you get thousands, it's overwhelming and it's really hard to collate the data. I mean, you'll start to see the same type questions coming up over and over again, but it gets to be, I don't know how many pages this is, probably 21, 22. But you can see I started to try to collate the data and chart it out, and it's actually hard because there's too much information. So you want to just get 100 responses, and that's not really a lot. That's not that hard. I've done it running advertising to it, and that's where you really have to have, especially on Facebook, if you're going to run ads to it, you can, but you're going to have to really work hard to figure out how to reach just your market, or you're throwing good money down the toilet. That's just my opinion. But advertising to your Ask campaign will also give you really skewed data, because people have, it's not like you're actually getting specific targeted warmer traffic by going to the groups of common interest. So I'm going to say try it both ways and see what works for you to get your 100 responses. But what worked for me finally, and I did it repeatedly, was when I asked the question and phrased it in a way that made sense and was respectful for the group's rules and regulations. Like, I didn't say, hey, I'm creating a free workshop for this particular one. It was just, what's your biggest challenge with chronic pain? Because I wanted to know what is their biggest challenge on a daily basis of dealing with chronic pain. So figure out what the question is for you. If you've got any concerns about that, go ahead and message in the comment spot below, and I will help you out in any way I can. Talk soon. Have an awesome day.